After recovering from being fired from Apple, Jobs realized he could be exactly what he wanted, with his good points and bad points. He first started a company focused on the education market, a computer company called Next. With the Next project, Jobs brought his passion to design. He paid $100,000 to design the logo and insisted that Next would be a perfection. But Jobs' perfectionism made engineering and production extremely difficult. For example, the two sides of the block must be manufactured individually, using molds costing up to $650,000. Jobs' determination became the death knell for Next. The project was almost financially exhausted, the product was delayed for years, and in the end, the machine was too expensive for consumers. And because of its high price tag and small software library, Next barely made its mark in the computer industry. During the same period, Jobs bought a large amount of shares from the company Pixar. As chairman, Jobs invested in a business, a perfect blend of technology and art. By 1988, Jobs had invested $50 million in Pixar, while still losing money on Next. But after years of tough financial times, the studio released Tin Toy, a film that showcased Pixar's unique vision for computer animation. Tin Toy won the Best Animated Feature category at the 1988 Academy Awards. So Jobs felt that he should shift his focus from hardware and software production, which he lost a lot of money to Pixar, an advanced and potential animation company. And finally, Pixar teamed up with Disney to produce its first movie, Toy Story. Released in 1996, Toy Story reached the top of the highest-grossing films of the year. When Pixar went public, Jobs' shares were worth 20 times what he had invested, $1.2 billion. Besides learning during his 12 years away from Apple, Jobs has also developed his personal life. In 1986, after the death of his adoptive mother, Jobs was curious about his origins and decided to find his biological mother. When he found Joanne Skeeble, she was very emotional and regretted giving Jobs to someone else to raise. Jobs was also surprised to learn that he also had a younger sister, Mona Simpson. Both people with strong passion for art and strong will, the two have become close to each other. In 1996, Simpson published a novel with the title A Regular Guy. The main character is based on Jobs and shares many aspects of Jobs' personality. However, because he didn't want any conflict with his newly found sister, Jobs never read the novel. Around the same time, Jobs met Lauren Powell. The couple married in 1991 with prayers from Jobs' former patriarch. Powell was previously pregnant with their first child, Reed Paul Jobs. They also had two more children, Aaron and Eve. With encouragement from Powell, Jobs also tried to spend more time with Lisa Brennan, the daughter he had with his first relationship, who had become estranged from him. Jobs tried to be a better father to Lisa, and eventually she moved in with him and Powell until she attended Harvard. Lisa grew up with the same temperament as Jobs, and both are not very good at reaching out and correcting. They can be apart for months without saying a word to each other. In a broader sense, the way he treats people around him is similar to the way he works. Jobs' approach, either very passionate or very cold. After years of firing Jobs, Apple gradually went downhill and was in danger of bankruptcy. To prevent this, Gil Amelio was named CEO in 1996. Amelio knew that to get Apple back on track, it needed to merge with a company with new ideas. And for that reason, in 1997, Amelio chose Next and Jobs became an advisor to Apple. Once back at Apple, Jobs gathered as much power as he could. He has quietly built a power base by placing his favorite employees at Next in high positions within Apple. During this period, Apple's management realized that Amelio would not be able to become Apple's savior, but perhaps the company would have a chance again with Jobs. So the board asked Jobs to return to the position of CEO. However, the unexpected happened. Jobs declined the offer. Instead, Jobs wanted to stay on as an advisor and help find a new CEO. Jobs as a consultant increased his influence inside Apple. He forced the board to resign, the board that had offered him the CEO position, because he felt they were too slow to change the company. As a consultant, Jobs also succeeded in partnering with rival Microsoft. prompting them to make a new version of Microsoft Office for Mac, thus ending a decade of competition and dramatically accelerating the pace. Sell Apple products. And finally, after much hesitation, Jobs became CEO and suggested the company make fewer products. Jobs terminated the licensing agreements Apple had with a few other manufacturers, and decided to focus the company on making just 4 great computers, a desktop computer and a laptop for both professional market and consumer market. In 1997, Apple lost $1.4 billion. But in 1998, Jobs' first year as CEO, the company made $309 million in profits. Jobs really saved Apple.